Uh, I rise in opposition to House Bill 2519 this evening. And, I want to say that I try to stand by my votes here. I take full responsibility for any questionnaires that I fill out. And, when I filled out my questionnaire, and I am an NRA member, I did state at that time that I would support campus carry. But I had to call the representative from the NRA this morning and told him that I couldn't be with them on this bill, for several reasons. We had a nice conversation, and while he disagreed with me, he respected that I had taken the time, to call him. But let's talk a little bit about, what happened. I really believe that there is just as much opposition to this bill from higher education and the general public as what there was to Senate Bill 451 from K-12 public education and the general public. And I want to commend the people from higher education, especially the people from West Virginia University that contacted me, the people from Fairmont State University, and the people from Marshall University. And let me say, I've been here 27 years, and I've never seen the higher education community and the institutions of higher education rally against a bill, like they have this bill. And let's talk a little bit about, West Virginia University and their position of being neutral on this bill. And yesterday at 1:17 p.m., all of us received an email from Dr. Gordon Gee. And I'm not going to read this whole email because it talks about the last 3 years, how West Virginia University has led the charge against campus carry. But there is one paragraph I want to read. It says, I, along with members of our government relations team, led by Rob Alsop, as well as Provost Joyce McConnell, have worked to maintain the authority of our Board of Governors on the issue of campus carry. We have not been neutral on campus carry. And I also want to commend the gentleman from Mercer, the Judiciary Chairman. I have great respect for him. Even though we're both of different political parties, and lots of times we don't vote alike, but he's always been good to me, and I have great respect for him. And I can't imagine how difficult it was for him to work on a bill that he totally opposes. And I really believe, in the 5th District, I don't have any 4-year colleges in the 5th District. I have a community college branch. So, what I would say to the people who are have a concealed carry permit and they're carrying concealed, this is not going to affect them. They're going to have the right to do that, to continue to do that. But I really finally started listening to the people at West Virginia University and Fairmont State University and Marshall University because the calls and the emails just kept coming. You know, and I live in the northeast corner of Wetzel. That's 50 minutes driving time to Fairmont State University and 50 minutes to West Virginia University on Route 7, which is one of the worst roads in West Virginia. But we'll save that topic, you know, for another day. But those universities made it clear to me and the people that contacted me that they absolutely did not want this bill. You know, and last night I had a really nice conversation with Dr. Martin, the president of Fairmont State University. And she was telling me that, you know, they don't have a full-time police force there. Now, how much that this is going to cost her, cost Fairmont State, and then if they have to, if there is a pay raise that the people that there's not money in the budget to cover, that they'll have to come up with that. They'll have to come up possibly with money for PEIA. And the bottom line, she told me, we're looking at a 14% increase. And she said, we're not going to do that. We're not going to increase the tuition at Fairmont State by 14%. And we're probably going to have to lay off people. And she said, plus, we're going to lose students. We're going to lose faculty to other states that they compete with that don't have campus carry. And it's definitely, she said, going to affect our international student population, you know, in a negative way. But you know, I mentioned about all those phone calls that I got from WVU, Fairmont State, and Marshall. But you know, that still wasn't good enough for me. So I know all of us have members in our community that we confide in when we have to make really difficult votes. I know that I do. So over the last 2 or 3 days, I started calling those people and asking them their opinion when I told them about this bill. And I actually called some members of the NRA, just like me, a member. And I asked them what they thought about this. And yes, some of them were Republicans. And they said to me, you should vote against this because this bill goes way too far. You know, and the last person last night that I talked with never asked me to vote, you know, certain ways on bills here. And I've been here a long time, 27 years. And like I said, I've made a lot of votes for the NRA and to strengthen the Second Amendment. Matter of fact, I've only voted against the NRA till tonight one time in 27 years. But when I talked to that lady, she knew that I'd really been struggling with this issue. And I told her, you know, last night, I said, you know, I finally made up my mind on campus carry, and I'm going to vote against it. And she said, good, because that's the right thing to do. And that was my wife. I urge a no vote on this bill, House Bill 2519.